Wow, 100 episodes.
100 episodes. In this multi-part series, we're going to do a retrospective of the last 8.5 years. In this first part, we're going to go back to the beginning when we purchased Make My Day, right up until we leave Amsterdam.
I put the episode number in that corner over there. If you want to see more from that episode, go to our channel and find it there. I will try to put a link in that corner. Hope you enjoy.
Hope you enjoy it.
Circumstance has a way of changing the way people think about the world and their own lives. Several events converge to make us reflect upon our life choices. There are no guarantees in life, and no one knows when the last day is coming. With this in mind, we were determined to live now and enjoy every day the best we can. We decided to work towards an early retirement of living aboard a sailboat and cruising the world. Since our parents have passed and we have no children of our own, the risk would be ours alone. With our plan to sail around the world, we set out to find the best boat we could afford on our limited budget. This would eventually become our new home. We were looking for quite some time when we found Make My Day in September of 2015. She fit the bill and had an attraction that said we were home. We made up a plan to work for 5 more years before we untied the lines. We would use this time to prepare both the boat and ourselves for the upcoming adventures. Since it was September in the Netherlands, our first sailing was pretty limited before the cold autumn weather would set in. We sailed as much as we could, before we moved her from Hoorn to Kampen in October. In 2016, we did some normal maintenance on her and went sailing with family and friends. Our nephew Isaac and his new wife Justine came to the Netherlands for their honeymoon. Leontine made the aft cabin into a honeymoon suite. We'd met them in Amsterdam. It was our first time sailing there. During this summer, our batteries died, so we had to replace them with new ones. In the winter of 2016-2017, we took her out of the water for some welding at thin places. We hauled her out at Admiral in Hasselt, where we could put Make My Day inside. This way we could work through the winter. Since we were out and the facilities were available, we also decided to sandblast the bottom, so we could put on some copper coat as anti-fouling. This didn't go as we expected, and they sandblasted the whole bow and stern. Now we had to paint the entire boat. Luckily, Leontine's brothers helped to fix this problem. We also removed the damaged teak from the cockpit and replaced all the rigging this winter. In 2017, we had some problems with the engine. The diesel lift pump needed to be replaced, and the injector pump was professionally rebuilt. We bought our dinghy Herman and a new outboard motor. We had a lot of visitors this summer, and we went sailing many weekends. In the winter of 2017-2018, we were still at the Roggeboot Sluis Marina. It was a winter of storms. Sometimes the water came up so high that the docks were completely underwater. When the wind came from the other direction, the water level would fall drastically. Make My Day slid under the dock, and all the fairing and paint rubbed off down to the bare steel. 2018 was a year of little sailing and a lot of work. We removed the teak deck above the aft cabin because the plywood substrate was rotten. We also removed the ceiling under it to address any rust issues that may have occurred. We noticed a leak in the salon ceiling, so we cut out a section of the ceiling to help us locate the source. 6 years later, we may have actually stopped it and could finally repair the ceiling. We hauled out of the water again, this time at Giecom, removing the mizzenmast so we could repair the deck above the aft cabin. At this time, Leontine and her brother Lawrence fixed some of the paint that had been damaged. We left the mizzenmast at Giecom while bringing Make My Day home to finish painting the new deck above the aft cabin. During this time, someone stole the VHF antenna while the mast was left at Giecom. Well, shit happens. With our neighbors from Skuimer, we made a new stainless steel railing on both boats. We also added a Dometic freezer and solar panels, and eventually moved to a new marina at Skokkerstrand. We actually only sailed twice this entire year. In the winter of 2018-2019, we installed a water maker and added a Mantis anchor. Leontine made a new Dodger, cockpit cushions, and sail covers. 2019 was a little less work and a bit more sailing and fun. We purchased 2 SUPs to add to the fun while at anchor. Our sailing adventures included some new firsts. We went into the North Sea, to Helgoland and Norderney in Germany. Our first time in salt water with Make My Day, and our first overnight sail. This became the start of our love of night sailing. However, during this sail we learned our 3-year-old 420 amp hours of batteries couldn't hold a full charge after 54 amp hours of use. We needed to keep the engine running to keep the batteries above 12 volts. But all play and no work doesn't happen. Out of preventive maintenance, we replaced the heat exchanger on the engine, keeping the original as a spare. In 2019, the plan started to come together a bit sooner than expected. We sold the house, stopped working. In November, the new owners took possession of the house, and we moved on board. In December, we moved for the winter to Amsterdam. During the winter of 2019-2020, we were adapting to permanent live-aboard life in the big city. Living on a boat and living in Amsterdam had long been a dream of mine. Now it was both at the same time. It was fun living on the north side of Amsterdam. We had many visitors to our urban location. This was soon to be drastically altered by a pandemic. But as always, there were projects that needed to be done. In this time we added 600 amp hours of lithium batteries, created new storage spaces, and replaced the wind meter transducer at the top of the mast. Our original plan was to leave in 2020, but COVID had other ideas. While other cruisers we knew bit the bullet and left anyway, we decided to wait until it all returned a bit more to normal. The thought of expensive COVID tests at every port was unappealing. So we decided to stay in the Netherlands for another year. It wasn't bad or uninteresting. We took dinghy rides in a bizarrely empty Amsterdam, like something out of The Walking Dead. We spent a lot of time on anchor in locations around the IJsselmeer. Leontine was busy with many sewing projects, like a new cockpit enclosure. She also made covers for the new Honda generator, jerry cans, fenders, and hatches. She also created a variety of mosquito nets for the vents and cockpit. We went to Lelystad for a haul-out to replace seacocks and hoses. But while we were there, we noticed blisters in the copper coat, which needed to be repaired. We also painted the inside of the hull, aft and on both sides of the engine room. After a month, we were back in the water. Our first stop was to anchor in the Trintelhaven, where an illegal rave went on for 2 days. It was crazy that this happened in the middle of the pandemic, but there were no issues or repercussions. When it was over, we went ashore so that Leontine could cut my hair. We noticed that the entire terrain was clean with no litter or anything left behind. Later, we spent a good portion of the summer in Medemblik, another sister marina from the Yachthaven group, so we could stay without incurring any charges. We went to Lemmer to have the boat measured for new sails by De Vries Maritime. They also installed new roller furlers for the Genoa and the jib. In the fall and winter of 2020-2021, while we were still in Medemblik, Leontine made stack packs for the new sails that were finished in October. Also, our car died about a half a year too soon. We moved back to the Amsterdam Marina for the winter. This also being part of the Yachthaven group made life very easy. We only had to pay for the electricity. Our major winter project was painting the inside of the bow. This entailed completely disassembling the anchor locker and V-berth. This all happened during the Christmas lockdown in Amsterdam. During this time in Amsterdam, we also replaced the anchor chain with 70 meters of new 10mm chain. Leontine made courtesy flags. We took a welding course and a first aid on board course. To add to the power generation, Leontine had an idea for a solar tent that would shade the cockpit. We made this and added a potential 1,050 watts to our existing 440 watts of solar power. The next big project was adding a diesel day tank. It's in, but still not working as hoped. Our friend Grita gave our dinghy Herman a final pimping, and we got our COVID vaccinations. We are now ready to go. Farewell.